Truth is a funny word. It's a funny concept. The word itself isn't that funny. In English, it's only 5 letters, and they pretty much explain themselves. But the concept of truth is this sort of elusive thing that everyone is trying to grasp and thinks that they have. The thing that you may not know, but ought to know if you don't, is that you're always right. Always. And this is not me trying to be condescending or antagonistic in the slightest. It is simply that everything you say, do, or think is encompassing who you are right now as a human being. So even if you were to say, I think I might have been wrong, at that moment, you are truly, actively thinking that you might have been wrong, or at least thinking that you're thinking that. Every opinion you have, whether it is right or wrong, is infinitely right amongst your own existence. Well, that's great. Everybody in the world is right about everything. Obviously, you can see that that might be a little problematic. Certainly does run into problems when everyone thinks they're right and insists upon being right. But of course, you are truly right. Once again, I'm not being antagonistic. This is a simple point of fact. The thing about being right is that you're not. You're not. I'm not. No one is. No one is. And you go, well, someone has to be right. There's some ultimate truth out there somewhere. Right? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that is exactly what we're going to be covering on today's topic. Slightly, mostly, and not completely entirely. However, if you stick around, you will probably end up more confused than you started out with. And that's a good thing. See, the thing about being right and knowing that you're not right, specifically saying that you are right, but knowing that you're not right about being right, it's going to make sense here in a second, I promise. Or at least I think I promise. If you constantly believe that what you think may not be the right thing, even the thing that you hold in the most absolute belief possible, but you think, I could possibly be wrong about this. Every time you think that, you're a little bit closer to some sort of ultimate truth. This collective reality that everybody has as far as collaborating on opinion. When everybody sees the color red and you assume that you're seeing the same red that everybody else sees, that's completely irrelevant as long as when you say red, someone knows what you're talking about. Well, we can't do that in concepts very well, because when we think a concept, even if we think the same concept as someone else, if it is your side of the political spectrum, or everything that people at your church believe, or everything that you thought was the moral compass of your family, everyone still has a slightly different manifestation of this truth of theirs. The same way that people who call red might be seeing a different color on the spectrum. And the beautiful thing about colors is, as humans, we can't even see all colors. The receptors that we have to see colors with are not, by far, the most receptors that any animal can have to perceive color. There are millions of colors out there that you do not know what they look like. That being said, on this whole concept of color and mixing color and adjacent colors and complementary colors and secondary colors and primary colors and all of the different colors of the spectrum, and you might not even be seeing them the same way as everybody else, but does that mean that the way that you see them isn't truth? I know I'm using a lot of air quotations, but I find it very hard with language to accurately convey concepts for the exact same reason that we have with colors. Everyone has their different way of understanding a word. The way that we grow, the way that we learn words, we're always learning them in a completely different context than other people have learned them. Some people learn the alphabet and Each letter is a different color on the wall of their kindergarten class. Some people learn the alphabet, and it's all black and white. Now, those things don't mean a lot when you're young. When you're young, learning what a pig is versus a dog doesn't imply much, but if you're reading them on cards, you have a slightly different understanding than if you actually own a pig or a dog. These things are so small. Why do they matter, you might ask me? You're functioning very well on your own as it is, I'm sure. Once again, not being antagonistic, simply, you are functioning under your own truth, and everybody's functioning under their own reality from birth to death in this infinite, complex series of, I guess, energy continuance. So what can be learned from that? Oh, okay, I'm always right, and I'm never right, and everybody doesn't think the same things. These are things I already knew. I didn't need to watch a video to tell me that. But do you live your life like that? When you disagree with someone, is your first instinct to tell them why they're wrong and not to understand their perspective? Because you believe that you understand their perspective perfectly already. You know everything that they think and why that is wrong and why you're right. And that somehow by arguing, yelling, shouting, or being passive, you're going to change anything or make the world a better place simply by being quiet. It's very hard to keep open dialogue in this world because everybody's so concerned with being right and other people thinking that their truth is right that they miss the whole point. The point is not about being right or not being right. It's about being able to say that something is a certain way in your own perspective. Until we understand that we're all looking at an object from different points of view around it, and someone over here says it's round, and someone over here says it's square, and someone over here says it's triangular. As long as they keep fighting, we never understand the true nature of the object itself. We never learn, we never grow, and all because you are always right. That time was a little condescending, but I'm being condescending towards myself as well. I don't think that this is a perfect thing that anyone's ever going to get right. So what do we do then? What do we do with this knowledge? Well, I would venture to argue that the best exercise you can do right now is take the thing that you believe most purely, and I would encourage this to be a controversial topic if possible. Politics and religion are absolutely the best. And for the next week, assume you're wrong. Try to disprove yourself. Here's the thing. If you're right, you won't be able to disprove yourself. If you're actually right, it should be an unbreakable fence. No one should be able to crush everything that you think. And maybe we're scared to look further into things. Because it's not just that we think we know everything already, but that there might be something we don't know. Just for a week, pretend that you're wrong. And then you can go back to whatever it is that you believe, whatever it is that you think holds your world together. But until you truly believe that you're wrong, you will never know. And that, my friends, is faith. Faith is questioning. Faith isn't blind understanding. I don't understand why everyone always thinks that about faith and belief. And if you believe and have faith, it means to just accept things blindly. Don't you know that everything can be accepted blindly? The flying spaghetti monster can be accepted blindly, so what makes anything any different? Facts, statistics, can be wrong, can be from the wrong source, can have been collected in a way that skews them or leaves them uncertain to the eye. But that's hard to do. You have a life to live, a job, relationships, kids. You don't have time to research everything you think and believe. So just start by thinking for a few days that you're wrong. And then we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, if you watched all the way through, I really appreciate you watching. I hope I can get another video out there sometime. I mean, I never have ever before in the past, but if this one makes it out there, then I'll be doing something I haven't done in the past. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'm Taylor, and I hope you tune in next time for what will probably be another uncomfortable talk about subjects that no one wants to address. Awesome. Bye.